Professor Gao, most people on the panel believe that economic issues, the handling of COVID situation has not worked in favor of President Xi. What then do you believe would be the path ahead for him as he assumes this larger-than-life figure for himself within China? His term as president will be extended. He'll become the third time he'll be the general secretary of the party. But is his path forward fraught with challenges?
First of all, with due respect to everyone on this distinguished table, allow me to emphasize I'm the only person here in China among all the panelists here. Is that right? So I'm shocked to hear all these voices which completely deviate from the realities on the ground. Allow me to emphasize several mega things which are assured, which will happen. One is that the 20th Party Congress is happening in 1 day's time. I'll be a major commentator on the television about that. And I will assure you, China and the Communist Party of China, which has a membership of up to about 100 million, will be as united as ever. And the 20th Party Congress will be one of the most important political events in China with global implications. It will take place, it will be very successful, it will unite the whole party and the whole nation. That's one. Now, in terms of economic development, don't forget, China is already larger than the United States in terms of the size of the economy. If we use purchasing power parity, if we use official exchange rate, at the end of 2021, China already was about 80% that of the United States. China's size is more than 5 times bigger that of Japan. That of India. So when we compare the Chinese economic development, yes, indeed, it is experiencing some difficulties. Every year over the past 43 years, China experienced different kinds of challenges and difficulties. But compared with the United States, Germany, France, Japan, or the United Kingdom, for example, the Chinese economy is doing well. By the end of this year, the growth rate in China will be higher than almost all the other major economies in the world. So I'm very agitated to see that you are worrying your heads off about the Chinese economy. From my perspective in Beijing, I keep worrying about all the other major economies, the G7 economies, for example. Don't worry about the Chinese economy. We will sort out the difficulties. That's another mega point. Now, in terms of the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, in China, we believe the herd immunity is a failure of the governments. They do not pick up their responsibility. They fail in their responsibility of saving their own people. And we are shocked to see that more than 1 million people die in the United States, comparing with a very small number of deaths and very small number of infections in China. Do you really call China as a failure and the United States, for example, as a success? You just confuse the right and the wrong. China is the greatest success in fighting off COVID-19. Do you really believe that the Chinese people do not know that? Other things being equal, on a purely pro rata basis, if the United States suffered 1 million deaths, in China, we would have suffered 4.5 million deaths. And if you assume that the United States is better endowed in terms of the public health resources, then you double that up. That means China would have lost about 10 million people because of the COVID. Now, China is up and running. We periodically experience some bounces back of the infections, and we can scramble into action. We can fight it off. China is now the only country in the world which has the resources, the political commitment, and the national mobilization capabilities, and the internet connections, for example, to enable the whole population to participate in this fight against the COVID. Name any other country in the world that has these capabilities. I would say, if you believe your parents are saved, your uncles are saved, and your niece is still alive, now you will know how much of a heroic struggle China has put up with against this pandemic.
All right.
You should be proud of our achievements rather than feeling sorry about our huge successes.
All
Thank
right.
you.